I think our parents were right. It was the damn phones. At the time, we thought we knew better than them, that they didn't know what it was like having the world at the tip of our fingers. If you were born before smartphones, it started as just being able to call your friends and family, but now it has become something else completely. For the majority of us, most of our free time is spent on either a phone or some other kind of screen, or both at the same time. Never having a moment of silence ever to be alone with your thoughts. You're always watching or listening to something. So how did we get there? Is there a way to stop, or is this how it's gonna be forever? There's actually a word for how we spend the majority of our time on our phones. It's doom scrolling, which is when you realize you've landed on a post that is completely useless and have no idea how you got there. You can't remember why you even got on your phone in the first place, but now you're reading hundreds of pointless comments. It all started with the seemingly harmless app, Vine, which had short 6-second clips where you scroll through a feed to see new content. And this proved to be a huge success. Then Musical.ly came to the scene, which eventually became TikTok. Now we have Reels and Shorts as well. Every social media company is using the same method to cash in on the vertical feed hype. You're probably thinking that this is easy to get hooked on because of the quick dopamine hits, right? Well, the idea of dopamine hits are very oversimplified, with countless documentaries and media saying that it's the reward itself triggering the dopamine hit. But this doesn't paint the full picture. You see, dopamine isn't only a pleasure chemical. It is released in anticipation of rewards, not the actual rewards themselves, encouraging repeated actions. The near misses can actually trigger more of a dopamine release than achieving desired results, showing dopamine's link to anticipation rather than intrinsic reward value. So when you consume more content on these apps, you desire even more, which is what actually leads to consuming more, so not the rewards you get along the way. It's the anticipation of, next time I scroll here, it will be a really good video, that is leading us to addiction. And this problem keeps getting worse for every year. The average person spends 3 hours and 15 minutes each day on their phone, and they check their phone about 58 times a day. Around 3 in 4 Gen Zers admit to spending more time on their smartphones than they would like each day. By comparison, just over half of the baby boomers feel the same way. In fact, 24% of Gen Z says that smartphone overuse has become a problem in their life, and 41% of Gen Zers claim to actively be taking steps towards reducing their screen time. So if almost half of Gen Z are actively trying to reduce their screen time, why haven't they already reduced it? Simply because it's really difficult, especially for us that grew up with a phone in their hand. It's not like you can just throw away your phone. It's how we communicate with each other. It's seeing and keeping up with your friends. It's how we relate to the people around us. If you threw away your phone, your parents, relatives, friends would all probably be very worried. And at some point, if you use your phone every day, it's scary not knowing who you'd be without technology. It has become an extension of yourself. Imagine giving someone from the 1800s a phone, telling them that this device has the capabilities to view every single piece of human knowledge, chat with any human on Earth. They'd sit with this device for days on end, and you can't really tell them to just stop. And we tell ourselves to just stop when we're going to sleep. But what happens when you actually succeed and stop using your phone all the time? And more specifically, what would happen if you threw your phone away? Now, this is assuming you're one of the people who are actually addicted to your phone. After 1 hour, you would have most likely tried to pick up your phone a couple of times to soothe the craving. After 12 hours, you would feel very anxious, since checking your phone brings you relief of the anxiety temporarily. After 24 hours, you would start feeling a lot of FOMO, which is fear of missing out on an event, what your friends and family are doing, etc. This would lead to an increased heart rate, higher blood pressure, and higher levels of anxiety. After 3 days, the good parts of quitting your phone start to show. The decrease in anxiety, your relationships improve by not always checking your phone, so your partner, parents, or friends probably like hanging out with you more. These steps are eerily similar to what quitting any other form of addiction looks like. And arguably for Gen Z, I would argue that this addiction is even harder to quit. Imagine growing up with a phone in your hand, the world at your fingertips, building your entire personality through it, getting both an attention and content addiction. And for Generation Alpha, the people born after 2008, it's going to be quite a lot harder. Imagine being given an iPad at 2 years old, never having the privilege of being bored ever again. We don't know what the side effects of never being bored again will be, but what we do know is that boredom breeds creativity. So will they not be creative at all? Just mindless zombies consuming content all day? Probably not, but it will be harder for them to quit their phone addiction than anyone else. If you have children yourself, you'd probably want to limit their screen time, so that would also limit their social interactions, not being able to relate to their peers being online all the time. So this becomes a really hard question to navigate for new parents. But surely, there must be steps I can take to make it easier to quit my phone addiction, you say. First, you need to realize what brings you true fulfillment in life, and chase that instead of temporary happiness. Doing the hard things, completing difficult tasks, to ultimately have an easier life. There are also hundreds of videos, apps, and gurus out there telling you they have the secret steps to stop scrolling. This is simply you procrastinating the issue. You indulge in your habit to stop doing the habit, watching TikToks on how to reduce screen time. That's like trying to quit smoking by smoking even more cigarettes. So just quit, which the essay called "It Is Not Doing the Thing" by Strangest Loop talks about. Preparing to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Scheduling time to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Making a to-do list for the thing isn't doing the thing. Telling people you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Messaging friends who may or may not be doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Writing a banger tweet about how you're going to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on yourself for not doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on other people who have done the thing isn't doing the thing. Hating on the obstacles in the way of doing the thing isn't doing the thing. Fantasizing about all the adoration you'll receive once you do the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about how to do the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading about how other people did the thing isn't doing the thing. Reading this essay isn't doing the thing. The only thing that is doing the thing is doing the thing. Instead of watching endless videos on how to quit, preparing to quit, telling people you're going to quit, just quit. Do the thing. And ultimately, it's about realizing it's up to you. Sure, you can blame tech companies or society as a whole for this addiction, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. One step is to simply allow yourself to be bored at times. Stare into a wall or something like that. My advice would be to just do it. Not only that, but each time you're bored and you pick up your phone, think actively about why you're picking it up. Is it to watch your favorite YouTuber and unwind after a long day? Then sure, go ahead. Is it to soothe the craving, not even watching something you really enjoy? Then try doing something else. I'm not saying it's easy at all, but it is simple. Embracing change is really difficult, but keep being persistent. You're inevitably going to fall into the trap again, but it's quitting again and again that works eventually. Remind yourself why you want to quit the addiction, and all the good things you want to do and achieve in life. That list is probably extensive, so don't let mindless scrolling keep that from you. You should remind yourself that we do not have forever. And again, it's up to you, and realizing your mum was right all along. It was the damn phone.